Welcome to the Italian Wine Podcast. This episode has been brought to you by the Wine to Wine Business Forum 2022. This year will mark the 9th edition of the forum to be held on November 7th and 8th of 2022 in Verona, Italy. This year will be an exclusively in-person edition. The main theme of the event will be all-round wine communication, and tickets are on sale now. The second early bird discount will be available until September 18th. For more information, please visit us at winetowine.net.
Welcome to Wine, Food and Travel with me, Marc Millon, on Italian Wine Podcast. Listen in as we journey to some of Italy's most beautiful places in the company of those who know them best, the families who grow grapes and make fabulous wines. Through their stories, we will learn not just about their wines, but also about their ways of life, the local and regional foods and specialities that pair naturally with their wines, and the most beautiful places to visit. We have a wonderful journey of discovery ahead of us, and I hope you will join me. Welcome to Wine, Food and Travel with me, Marc Millon, on Italian Wine Podcast. Today we travel to Abruzzo, to Masciarelli Tenute Agricole, a company that has long been at the forefront of quality modern wine production in Abruzzo. My guest today is Attilio Alfino, the winemaker, who joins me from the company headquarters. Buongiorno, Attilio. Thank you very much for being my guest today. How are you?
Buongiorno, Mark. Good morning, everyone. Thank you. I'm really, really proud to join you. And we are good. We are getting ready for the harvest. It's a 2022 vintage, which looks, as usual, more difficult than the last. Every year gets more difficult and harder. We have always a big challenge. So anyhow, we move on.
Yes, we were just chatting about that, about how this climate change and the increasing heat every year is making life very difficult for wine growers.
It's, what's happening, it's really unique. In this 2022, we break all the records of high temperature on high altitude. So The biggest trouble we're having is that all the ice is melting, and actually talking on a national basis, the situation is really bad, as we know. Here, talking about Abruzzo and what my experience is in this year, it's not that bad because we were quite lucky to have a little bit of rainfall. One thing we really look forward is the snow.
Yeah.
First week of March, we had here in San Martino sulla Marrucina 1 meter of snow. It was really a kind of a blessing for us because we had that's something we really want.
That allows the moisture to penetrate deep into the land.
Yeah. It's a kind of water. It's a kind of a nice storage of water for the soil. Plus, during the growing season, we had a little bit of. We were lucky to have a little bit of rain. When other region, they just saw the wind coming. They had a little bit of the forecast said, maybe it's gonna be a little bit of water, and then they got nothing.
Right.
We were lucky to have some rain. Even last week, we had all over Abruzzo. It's spotted a little bit, but something like 30 millimeters, which is right now for the Montepulciano something really remarkable on a vintage like this. Anyhow, we will see. It's not. I can say we are still a little bit lucky.
Well, for our listeners, we're in Abruzzo. I want them to have a picture of the Abruzzo landscape. And you've mentioned the mountains, these great mountains, snow-covered mountains, and of course the proximity of the Adriatic. It's a very special region in the south of Italy. Can you describe where you are and give our listeners a picture of the Abruzzo countryside? What makes it unique as a wine growing area?
Correct, Mark. Thank you. It's Abruzzo is what makes it unique is that it's my region, so I love it. I've been traveling a lot. I've been working overseas for a few years, and then when you go overseas, you realize how beautiful is our land when you miss it.
Yeah.
And that's the first thing I want to say. But I mean, just traveling Abruzzo, you see how is it, because it's a really hilly. I mean, talking about microscopically talking, it's there are these big mountains, the Maiella and the Gran Sasso, that are the highest, some of the highest. For sure, Gran Sasso is the highest mountain in the Apennines, and these mountains are really close to the sea. So, talking about San Martino sulla Marocchino, which is just right above the Maiella range, in 30 minutes you are on top of the mountain, and then in 20 minutes, not even, you are on the beach. Usually in May, for example, you can ski on the morning, and then in the afternoon you can be in the beach on a trabocco or swimming or fishing. That's a
Amazing.
little bit. Abruzzo is a really concentrate landscape museum. Okay, let's say it like this. I mean, you have everything you want. I mean, you have a lot of hills with different exposure. Every hill on the bottom has a creek. That's a really high richness of in water because of the mountains. Then one other thing that's really related with this vintage is that I mean, we had this really long heat wave, but at night we were lucky to have always 20, 18 degrees. I mean, even if during the day you have 35, 36 degrees, during the night you 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 lower down a lot the temperature.
Is that because of the altitude, or is that the sea breezes?
For sure, because this convective motion of the air, it's all triggered by the sea and the mountain. This is a sea breeze and earth breeze, And then when they move, they make they help a lot. They help a lot the vines and the agriculture. I mean, Abruzzo is a region. The agriculture in Abruzzo is really its fundamental economy. And I mean, I forgot to say, Abruzzo is just on the other side of Rome. Okay, so it's in the center of Italy, and it's a region where Masciarelli in the 1981 founded the winery to show to the people what Abruzzo is capable.
Yes, it's 40 years now since the Masciarelli winery was founded, which is a huge amount has been done in that time. But it's interesting. It's also relatively recent in a region where the vine has been cultivated for thousands of years. Tell us the story of the Masciarelli winery.
Masciarelli, founded in 1981 by Gianni Masciarelli, is a winery that is for sure make Abruzzo known all over the world. Was one of the first. Was one of the pioneer of showing to the world what Abruzzo is capable of, and how. I mean, he started first of all believing in his region, and he start pushing really up the quality, because basically Abruzzo wine these days were for the most based on bulk wine, a lot of cooperative. Right now, Abruzzo is still a land full and rich in cooperative. That, I mean, all this little wine grower, vigneron, collaborate to work and in this cooperative. But Gianni said, I want to rise up the quality, and then he start being a pioneer of this movement, and introducing high density plantation for the vines, high technology, the use of barrel for Montepulciano and Trebbiano, and then rising up the quality in the Villa Gemma 95 was the wine that really made the change in the panorama of Abruzzo and the center of Italy wine. It was a little bit of a flagship of the renaissance of all the biodiversity of the Italian wines, because Italy, we all know how beautiful it is, because is so rich in different variety, different wine, different land. So the idea is to make as more as possible the best. And Gianni start with the Villa Giamarosa. Right now the azienda is guided by Marina Svedic, our she's a really light for us because she always have great intuition. And Marina Svedic and Miriam, Chiara, and Smo Ricardino, they all working in the azienda, and we move it forward. I mean, the azienda in 1981 was 2 hectares. Now it's 300 hectares all over Abruzzo.
Okay, in the 4 provinces.
In the 4 provinces of Abruzzo. Plus, every province has a winery where we crush the grapes as soon as possible from the picking. So that's right now, and that's a little in few words.
Are you enjoying this podcast? There's so much more high-quality wine content available from Mama Jumbo Shrimp. Check out our new wine study maps, our books on Italian wine, including Italian Wine Unplugged, the Jumbo Shrimp Guide to Italian Wine, Sangiovese Lambrusco and Other Stories, and much, much more on our website, mamajumboshrimp.com. Now back to the show.
Well, let's talk about the jewels in the crown of Abruzzo wine, the 2 great wines produced from the Trebbiano d'Abruzzo, from the Trebbiano Abruzzese, and of course the Montepulciano d'Abruzzo from the Montepulciano grapes. These are the jewels in the crown that are wines that are both white and red, capable of achieving real greatness. Talk to us a little bit about these 2 great wines.
Well, Trebbiano is a great wine because it's a really silent wine. I mean, it's not really poshy. It's quite shy. Takes time to show itself, and but has a really great longevity. This year we celebrating the 50th year of the institution of the DOC of Trebbiano d'Abruzzo. And Masciarelli makes a lot of Trebbiano. The Trebbiano from the Linea Classica, the Gianni Masciarelli line, plus we have the Trebbiano Castello di Semivicoli, which comes from the area close to the Castello di Semivicoli, which is in the town of Casa Canditella, a really cold area. And we make this Trebbiano. It's really pure. We make this wine from these grapes after a dry maceration. We do a little bit of aging 1 year in stainless steel, and then we do a long bottling. Right now we're selling 2019.
Is it primarily the Trebbiano Abruzzese?
Yes, absolutely.
So it's quite a different grape from, for example, Trebbiano Toscano, which people may have come across. It's a grape with a massive character and potential for aging as well.
But Trebbiano Abruzzese has a different, has a really different attitude. It's more crispy, it's more mineral. It's a different attitude, even on the ripening, in the vines, the Trebbiano Abruzzese compared to the Trebbiano Toscano. The high difference you see it on the future of what the Trebbiano Abruzzese is capable of, because this freshness, this longevity comes more from the quality, from the attitude of the Trebbiano Abruzzese, which is a variety which really holds the life a lot. The Montepulciano instead is the king. If the Trebbiano is the queen, the Montepulciano is the king, because in here we have 300 hectares, 80%, 70% is Montepulciano. Is a variety that it's unreal what's capable of. And talking about our wines, I mean, we have the flagship, which is Villa Giamarosa, that comes from San Martino sulla Morcina, from the Vigneto Cave. Plus, we have the Iskra, we come from the province of Teramo in the Comune of Controguerra. These are two examples of a premium Montepulciano from two different soil. We're talking about the clay sandy soil of Teramo compared to the medio impasto of San Martino Salamorucino, which is at 400 meters on the sea level, compared to the 200 of Teramo in Controguerra, for instance.
Okay. So completely different character from the different terroir.
Two different things, two different attitude. The Montepulciano from Teramo usually is more spicy. The tannins are stronger. Instead, in Villa Gemaroso has more grace. Has more. I used to say more opulent. I mean, it's more three dimensional. It's more fruity. It's more, it's a different expression. More spicy on Teramo. In here, there is more fruit and more volume.
I think it's really interesting to note for our listeners that Montepulciano d'Abruzzo is such a versatile wine, and it can be, from an easy drinking wine to really serious, full, structured red wines that rank amongst the greatest in Italy.
Yeah, talking about thanks, because we're starting from the, a premium wine. We were talking about the Isca, but talking about the entry level wine, which is the Linea Classica, is a kind of wine you're doing every day easily. It's really approachable, satisfying. Plus, there is the white version of Montepulciano, which is the Cerasuolo. That is a wine that we believe a lot from years. I mean, the first vintage of Villa Gemma Cerasuolo was made in the 80s. Is a wine that comes from Montepulciano grapes. Then the juice is. After the stemming, we do a contact in the press to get more richness and color, and then we do the fermentation. And in 2 months, 3 months, we bottle, and we release the Villa Gemma Cerasuolo. Talking about it, and it's a wine that you can pair it with anything. It's a really wonderful. It's a really wonderful way.
Beautiful rosato.
Yeah, Cerasuolo, because it's a deep color. I mean, the color is more
deeper than yeah.
Yeah, it's a deep Cerasuolo. It's a deep color. It's more close to the color of Cerasuolo is closer to the cherry, to the ripe cherry. That's where the Cerasuolo name comes from. But it's a wine that is meaty. When you drink it, you have a nice flesh in the mouth. It's really. I mean, it's satisfying.
I'm imagining that's a very all three wines are very good food wines. Now, I know at the Castello di Semivicoli, you offer a range of wine hospitality, as well as the vineyard around the Castello, but also lessons in cooking and the Abruzzese cucina, which is a very rich cucina. Can we talk a little bit about the gastronomy of Abruzzo and how it pairs well with your wines?
Yeah, we have the Abruzzo tradition on the kitchen is really deep. Just think that every house has its own tradition on how to make the tomato sauce. How to make the sauce. I mean, that's something really really deep in the culture of us of Abruzzese. Talk about the pairing in the Castello di Semivicoli. We usually do home. We do this kitchen session of cooking session with guests. They really enjoy. They really love making the pasta alla chitarra, which is pasta, handmade pasta alla chitarra. Chitarra means you have this dough, you foil it, and then with a roll pin you pass it through this guitar, which is a kitchen tool you use to make from this foil all little spaghetti. That's why it's called spaghetti alla chitarra.
Okay, so the sheet of pasta is rolled over the strings like a guitar,
exactly.
And it cuts it into the spaghetti.
Exactly, that's a spaghetti alla chitarra, and that's something really, a spaghetti alla chitarra with a fresh tomato sauce and basil It's something really simple.
Nice for summer dining, like now when it's hot.
Yeah, absolutely. Something. I mean, that's one. That's even though the Abruzzo region is also famous for the pasta culture as well. Another nice thing is talking about. We move a little bit on the north of Abruzzo. We can talk about the Virtute Romane, which is it's more like a moment on the life of a family in Abruzzo, because at the end of the winter, you check on the kitchen, you see what's left from the winter, from what you stuck on the winter. So you get everything, all the leftovers, like beans, like pasta, like everything, like tomato. You put everything, bread, and then you put everything inside this big minestrone that it's called Virtù de Ramane. It's like how to use a small collectory, let's say, leftovers, and it's celebrated on the 1st of May. It's a really wonderful moment. It's a really wonderful dish because, you can, with a nice Trebbiano, you're gonna have fun.
Sure, and I imagine there are festivals like that throughout the region celebrating local produce, local wines.
Absolutely.
And of course, this link between in Abruzzo with the mountains, it's a region of shepherds and sheep.
Absolutely.
I know the transumanza still takes place up into the Gran Sasso. So the traditions of the arrosticini, the lamb ragu, these would be foods that go beautifully with your Montepulciano d'Abruzzo.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we move from the mountain, so we talk about the sheep and arrosticini, which is made with whole sheep, and for sure the Montepulciano is the king for this pairing. And then if we move to the coast, we reach the Adriatic coast. We can talk about all the seafood we have on the coast. We can talk about the Brodetto, which is more mainly famous, the Brodetto Lavastese, because they were, they have a long relationship. But even in San Vito Marina, there is the Brodetto alla San Vitese, but it's still the difference between the Brodetto Lavastese and the Brodetto alla San Vitese is more close to what's in the soup on this Brodetto, which is all different fish slow cook for a long time in a like it's a really huge soup you put on the center of the table, and everyone enjoy it. And then you can pair it with a cerasuolo. Cerasuolo in this situation is amazing.
That sounds wonderful. And you mentioned something earlier when we were talking, the trabucchi. Can you explain what the trabucchi are?
That's let's say a way of people living on the coast to get more fish as possible. Okay, I mean, the Trabocchi family. They come from mainly Rocca San Giovanni and San Vito Marina.
Okay, so they would be making these platforms that extend over the sea in order to fish.
Exactly. So the people living on the coast, they couldn't get as more as fish as possible because they were poor. So they couldn't afford a boat or a fishing boat to get that. So as of the conformation of the coast, because it's really deep, they start building this trabocchi. So the trabocco is a fishing machine that goes towards the beach, towards the sea. There's these two antenna, these poles that with a net. So you lower down the net on the sea level, on the bottom of the sea, and the traboccante, which is the owner of the trabocco, the fisherman that use the trabocco, stays in there and wait for the school of fish to come through. And usually they even put some bait inside the net, to let the fish go inside. And so they wait the fish to come, and then when the school of fish comes, they raise the net, and the fish stays inside. And this was a really profitable way of fishing. Right now, the stress also the sea, and it's not really used as a fishing machine, but it's more used for now. Right now, it's more a touristic point. It's used enjoying the legacies of the Abruzzo. People loves it. Now it's rising a lot.
So you can come in now and see how it was done, but just enjoy dining maybe on a Trabucco.
Exactly. You can buy what's available. It's really nice.
Yeah. I've not seen it, but I've read about it, so it's something I really want to do.
You must, Mark. Please come. It's fundamental.
Yes. Well, Abruzzo is not a region I know well, and it's one I need to visit more and find out more. So I look forward very much to coming to Abruzzo and to coming to the Masciarelli winery.
Beautiful. It will be our pleasure to have you.
Well, Attilio, it's been a great pleasure for me to speak with you this morning. I think you've given our listeners a vivid picture of a wonderful region, the Masciarelli winery, and a small bit of information about a large range of wines that the Masciarelli winery produces, which are available around the world. So I urge our listeners to visit Abruzzo, and if they can't get here, to seek out some bottles from the Masciarelli winery to enjoy Abruzzo in their glass. Thank you very much for being with us today, and I look forward to coming to Abruzzo and meeting soon.
Thank you, Mark. We're waiting for you. Thank you.
Grazie. A presto.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode brought to you by the Wine to Wine Business Forum 2022. This year will mark the 9th edition of the forum, to be held on November 7th and 8th, 2022, in Verona, Italy. Remember, the second early bird discount on tickets will be available until September 18th. For more information, please visit us at winetowine.net. Guys, I'm Joy Livingston, and I am the producer of the Italian Wine Podcast. Thank you for listening. We are the only wine podcast that has been doing a daily show since the pandemic began. This is a labor of love, and we are committed to bringing you free content every day. Of course, this takes time and effort, not to mention the cost of equipment, production, and editing. We would be grateful for your donations, suggestions, requests, and ideas. For more information on how to get in touch, go to ItalianWinePodcast.com.